Okay, today I'm going to talk about several bullshit that people have been out there talking about, especially about building an email listing. And more in particularly, I'm going to talk about how you can scale up your Kindle publishing business. I received several questions to my email address, which today I'm going to reply. And also, if you have any question related to Kindle publishing, you can also send it to my email address, jordan@jordanalexo.com. I always like to see what people are having trouble with in regards to Kindle publishing. And probably I will even make a video replying to your questions. So let's get started with this video. This is going to be hot. This is going to be good. Let's get rolling. Hi there, this is Jordan Alexo, and today is going to be a good day because I'm going to talk about a lot of bullshit that people are out there talking about, and also I'm going to explain how you can scale up your Kindle publishing business by replying to the several questions that I received to my email inbox. Once again, if you have any questions related to Kindle publishing, make sure to send them to me. I will leave my email address right below so you can use it. And also go right below, click on that like button, make just that, click on that like button. It's great when you do that. I like it. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you still haven't done it so you can receive my weekly video updates where I share with you plenty of tips related to Kindle publishing and several ways for you to make money online. So let's get started with this video. And as you can see, my blank Canva in my background is having a bad day today. I just can't keep that shit straight. I don't know why. And I know that I should get a better background for my videos, but that is what I have at the moment and that is what I'm going to use. And this is a white Canva before anyone decides to comment about it and ask if it's a bad shit or something like that. Anyway, let's get started with this. Let's get started. So I'm going to just cover the name of this person that sent me the questions. And let's start with the first email. So thank you for this realistic email. He actually joined my newsletter. He did a good thing and you should do it too. You should join my newsletter so you can receive my free bonus where I sent you a quick guide that you can use so you can learn how to do $3,000 to $8,000 with a single book and so on. Just go right below. You have a link to this page so you can join my email listing. Anyway, YouTube channel and also from Big Looks this, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's go over here to the questions. Everyone is talking about email list. Do Facebook ads to build it. Swipes might get you in trouble. I really do not know who to listen and trust. I know that this is a common question that a lot of people have, a common concern that a lot of people have, in fact. And let's talk about this. Let's talk about building an email listing, about Facebook ads, and what I have when it comes to my experience with Facebook ads is something that I used in the past, not for Kindle publishing. I used it to build actually several email listings in the past. I wasn't successful with it, and in fact I just lost my money. I can tell you this was like some time ago, probably 2 years ago, that I tried Facebook ads, and back then they weren't so expensive as they are nowadays, but still I quickly lost my money. It was just like this, and there went my money and I never saw it again. So basically what I'm saying is, first, about building an email listing. I don't know if there are people out there, publishers who have successfully built an email listing. I believe there are some publishers who have done this. But when you are starting out, what you should focus is not about building an email listing, okay? Because that is just going to complicate the whole process a lot more. When it comes to actually making money. That is your main focus when you start out your Kindle publishing business, and actually should be your focus always, because that is the reason why you want to build a Kindle publishing business, because you want to make money. Making money should be your main focus, and you should keep things as simple as possible. Just publish books. That is your main work. Publish books. That is what you're supposed to do. Don't get complicated with this stuff. Don't start thinking that you need to build an email list because someone out there who is already doing $10,000 per month or $8,000 per month with their Kindle publishing business said so. Yes, of course, someone who is already doing that money, he can test it out. He can go out there and try it out and see if he's able to build an email listing. But the guy or the girl is already doing good amount of money with their Kindle publishing business, so they can try it out. They can test it out and see if they are actually able to do an email listing. So they can start getting subscribers to their email listing and then promote their book to their subscribers and probably get some organic reviews, which is not exactly organic reviews because you're still soliciting reviews. So about building an email listing is something I personally don't have one for my Kindle publishing business. I might later on try to build one because it's something that I want to personally try. But at that point, I will be doing a good amount of money with my Kindle publishing business. When you are starting out, don't complicate stuff. Keep it simple. Do the review swapping process for your first books, let's say 5-10 books or whatever. And once you reach a point, let's say that you're doing $2,000, $3,000 per month with your Kindle publishing business, if you want to try out doing something different just to see if you're able to do it, if you're able to build an email listing, then go for it. But at that point, you are already doing a decent amount of money with your Kindle publishing business. Because when you're starting out, doing this is just a complete waste of time. And it will make you the whole process of making money with your Kindle publishing business a lot harder than it should actually be. So just do the review swapping process, and independently, even if later on you decide to build an email listing, there are a lot of things that you will need to learn new. For example, you will need to learn some basic copywriting so you can build an opt-in page that basically entices people to opt in and subscribe to your newsletter. You will need to learn how to build an opt-in page. You will need to learn the type of emails that you need to send to your subscribers so they will actually leave reviews or even purchase affiliate products. So there's a lot of new things that you actually need to learn in this process. It's not something that I recommend when you are starting out, and you should just focus in the beginning in your publishing business, in publishing books and being successful by publishing books inside of Amazon. That is your main focus. Don't think about anything else. Keep it simple. Now, independently, this is what I was going to talk about. Later on, if you decide to build an email listing, don't use Facebook ads. That is completely stupid. I'm not sure who actually spoke about this. That is completely stupid. It doesn't even make any kind of sense. The only way that you are able to make money with an email listing and using Facebook ads as your way of getting traffic to your opt-in page is if you are selling expensive products. Products that at least you will earn a commission of $200, $300, or even more. That is possibly the only way that you are going to do some decent money by using this source of traffic. Now, it's not something that will happen if you are selling mostly virtual books or even paperback books that do roughly $2 for each sale that you do to $10 for each sale that you do by selling those books. Using Facebook ads is the most stupid thing that you can do when it comes to this, and I don't recommend for you to do it if later on you decide to build an email listing. So that's the first thing. Once you are starting out, for you to scale up your business, keep it simple. Don't think about building an email listing. Don't think, and even if later on you decide to build an email listing, don't use Facebook ads. You must rely mostly on the traffic or basically on the readers that you get to your books. You want to put links inside of your books to your opt-in page so your readers will go to those pages, subscribe to your email listing, and so on. You want to do this process freely. And it will be a very slow process. Believe me, building an email listing is a slow process. It's something that simply won't happen one day to another. It's just easier for you to do review swapping in the beginning. And about getting in trouble, I personally never got in trouble. I don't know any publisher who has gotten in trouble if they actually know what the hell they are doing. I mean, if you go out there and you do the review swapping by yourself, where you do this process by yourself, there's a good possibility that you will get in trouble. Now, if you actually hire someone who knows how to do this, a virtual assistant, then it is unlikely that this will happen to you and you will get in trouble. I cannot promise anything. There's always a risk when you are doing this business. Not everything inside of this business is what people consider morally right. And honestly, a lot of businesses out there, and even when you talk about big brands, like I don't want to talk about big brands, but there's a lot of things that they do that are quite shady. Okay, so don't think that everyone out there is doing everything the most legit way. There's a lot of crappy shit happening out there, and inside of this business, this is one of those parts that I personally don't like it. The review swapping process, but it's extremely hard for you to get organic reviews and even make sales with your books if you don't do this process. My main concern when it comes to this business is providing high quality content. And if I need to manipulate the system of Amazon, then I will do it because I want to make sales. Now, if that makes me a bad guy, then so be it. But at least this is the truth, and most people out there, even most publishers that talk about having this secret way of getting reviews, most likely they are doing review swapping. Or if they actually have an email listing, they are already doing a decent amount of money and they are trying new stuff. So it's not that important at that point. But when you are starting out, you just want to make money and you should focus on making money. And that is your main concern when it comes to your publishing business. Okay, let's talk about it over here. I have difficulties in choosing profitable niches, keywords. Well, most people actually have. This is something that even nowadays when it comes to when I'm searching for keywords, is something that often it takes like a week to 2 weeks for me to have a good listing of keywords and decide which keywords I want to get in. And actually I made a video just a while ago talking about the way that I actually search for keywords. If you haven't watched that video, I recommend for you to click on that small eye that you can see on the top of the screen. I'm not sure if it's on the left or right side. Just click on that eye so you can watch that video next to this one, because I'm still going to provide you a lot of useful content inside of this video. So yes, this is the huge pickle when it comes to Kindle publishing, is being able to find good niches, keywords. It is something that if you want to make money with this business, you just need to put the work, the time and the effort in searching for keywords. I really can't offer much details about this because I already did a video and I explain exactly the process that I use. And even for me, I already have some experience with this, and it still takes me a long while for me to be able to find those really good keywords. And sometimes I gotta be honest, because in the past there were certain niches that I was really reluctant to enter. For example, the diet niche, weight loss niche, I was kind of concerned about entering to these niches because I watched video from other publishers talking about people to not get into those niches because they were very competitive. And I must admit, those have been the most profitable niches. And I'm fortunate that I actually didn't listen to some people and just got into those niches, because those are very profitable niches. Even though they are competitive, there are always keywords that aren't that competitive that you can publish books and make some good amount of money. And let's talk about that will make significantly more profits in small time, because now my profits are not enough, so I cannot produce and launch more books faster. I want to put less books, but quality books for long-term sales. Okay, so the first books that I used to publish inside of Amazon, normally what happened was they used to sell for 1 month to 2 months, and sooner or later the sales would drop and they basically would stop selling. What I've noticed, and this is my experience, of course, other people might have different experience, but what I've noticed is by providing high quality content, and what exactly does it mean to provide high quality content? Because I know that a lot of people out there talk about, oh, just provide high quality content, but they really don't go much in detail about what exactly is that. And providing high quality content, it consists on providing exactly the content that your customers are searching for inside of Amazon. So before I even publish a book, what I commonly do is I analyze my market. I see the books that other publishers and authors, and particularly authors that are famous inside of that niche, I see their books, I see what customers have left as a review on those books, and I see where the author has, or where the customers that purchased that book felt that it was missing in terms of content in that book. And then what I do is I just write everything that the customers were complaining about that book, and then I simply try to make a book that basically replies to what my customers want. Providing high quality content is exactly providing the type of content that your customers want. It doesn't need to be content that is written by a novel-priced author or nothing like that. Of course, even though a novel-priced author wouldn't certainly write a book for you, of course you don't want to have grammatical errors inside of your book, but the most important thing is providing exactly the content that your customers want, and avoiding the type of books that are way too generic, where people just look at the title and it's something very generic. For example, yoga for beginners. I mean, there's probably hundreds and hundreds of books related to that. And if you just publish another book providing exactly the same content as other 100 books already have done in the past, then why the hell would anyone actually purchase your book? Doesn't make any kind of sense. So what you want to do is provide a book that provides more specific content about what your customers are looking inside of Amazon. And you want to make sure that the title also specifies that difference, why your book is different compared to your competitors. So this is something that you want to do. And I've noticed that this has made my books sell better along a longer period of time. And I have a book, for example, that has been selling for the past 4 to 5 months now, and has been doing more than $1,000 per month. Okay, I would say an average of $1,000 per month for the past 4 to 5 months now. So that is a total of $4,000 to $5,000 just with one book in the past 4 to 5 months, and has been because I've actually provided more precise content in regards to what my customers are looking inside of Amazon. And I consider that helps your books sell better for a longer period of time. What I've noticed in the past is books that I used to provide more generic content used to sell decently in the first month, but then in the second, third month, the sales would drop and eventually they would stop selling. Now, this is my experience, of course. You might have another one, or other people out there might have another one. And when you are starting out, this is what I recommend for you to do. Try to provide more exact content and see what your customers want when it comes to content. Because when you're starting out, every single book, especially if you're on a tight budget, every single book counts, and you want to try your best to make the maximum amount of money with each book that you publish, because that way it simply will be easier for you to scale up. Because if you publish a book, and let's say that your first book does $200, $300 per month, then it's simply easier for you to scale up your business, because eventually you receive that money and you can put that money, invest in other books, and so on and so on. But yes, once you are starting out, if you are on a tight budget, it's always hard for you to scale up your business. I actually made a video the past week where I said that if you are starting out, I recommend for you to start out with at least $2,000 in the beginning. Of course, if you have less money, I actually started with less money. I started with about $400, but it was far slower for me to actually scale up my business. Now I'm actually being able to scale up my business because I'm doing a pretty decent amount of money with my Kindle publishing business. But yeah, that is the thing. So each book that you publish inside of Amazon, if you are on a tight budget, each book should count. You should do your best in publishing books that actually will sell. So probably you should not you should spend more time really concentrating and seeing what your customers want, and so on. I actually explained this in my book that I sent for free through my email address. So yes, quality counts, at least for me. I've noticed that this has helped me a lot. Let's actually see over here if there's something else. Yeah, this is something that happens. In September, I launched a diet book to experiment. I sold very good for about a month or so. Then it started going down in paid rankings, roughly 300 in sales after launch, and now it doesn't sell without AMS. Okay, this is probably the same thing. This person probably published a book that is, the content is really generic inside of this diet niche. And what happened was, after it sold well for a month and then the sales just stopped dropping and so on. And that is something that happens when you are offering content that is way too generic. I'm not saying that it won't happen if you offer a book that is way too specific, but from my experience, it has happened less with books that provide more specific content to what my customers want. And I still use AMS for those books. So this is something that I'm always using. Actually, I have campaigns that now have about 4 months that are constantly active and constantly helping my books selling well inside of Amazon. Yes, you always want to try to rank your books organically so you can do basically some free sales. But using AMS is something that I'm always using for my books, okay? This is something that I'm always using to keep my books selling inside of Amazon, because yes, that is something I'm always using. It's something that you shouldn't stop using so you can keep selling your book. So I'm a bit confused to decide how I can diversify in different niches one by one, if you know a specific strategy to do that. So what I've actually recommended in my previous video was, when you are starting out, I recommend for you to get into two different niches or 3 different niches, depending on the budget that you have and depending on the books that you can immediately publish inside of Amazon. Now, the reason why, and niches are different from keywords, okay? Niches is, for example, the weight loss niche. That is a specific niche. And then you have, let's say, the cookbook niche is another one. Computer science niche is another one. But inside of each niche, there are specific keywords. For example, inside of weight loss, we can talk about the paleo diet, the ketogenic diet. There's the self-beef diet. Those are keywords inside of the weight loss niche. So it's a bit different. And I recommend for you to initially publish books in 2 to 3 niches. This way you can test out and see which is the niche that works the best for you. Don't be so worried about initially trying to sell in all 3 different formats, okay? Keep it simple. If you're selling well inside of just paperbacks, then just keep publishing books as because I mean, some niches sell better inside of paperback. For example, cookbooks sell better when it comes to paperbacks, but they don't sell well when it comes to audiobooks. And your main concern initially is just to make money. If later on, once you are doing $3,000, if you decide to start publishing books in another niche where you can sell more audiobooks, then do so. But initially, just focus on doing money independently if you're not selling well in all three different formats. Okay, so I tell you to, if you're starting out, to publish in 2 to 3 different niches, so you can try out 2 to 3 different niches and see where you actually sell the best. And then we actually go over here to other thing is about building a brand, which is something that a lot of people are talking about. People are basically throwing their people are basically throwing their panties thinking about this and about building a brand. It's what exactly is about building a brand? Okay, so once you publish in 2 to 3 different niches and you see that you have a book selling well, what you want to do is focus on that niche and keep publishing books inside of that niche with the same author name or pen name or whatever you want to call it. That is basically building a brand, and you use the same colors or similar covers and so on. And yeah, that is what people call building a brand, because the more books you publish inside of, and my throat is getting kind of dry, so I'm having a hard time talking now, but the more books you actually publish using the same pen name, what happens is your pen name starts gaining more influence inside of Amazon. And the more books you publish, the easier time you will have actually ranking those books in the front page of results for a particular keyword that you want. So basically that is what building a brand is. It's nothing that special. It's just that, yeah, nothing to throw your panties off. So I guess I already replied to everything. So, scaling your business initially when it comes to Kindle publishing, it really depends a lot on the amount of money that you have. If you are in a tight budget, it will be harder. And when you are in a tight budget, what you should do, and you should always do this, try to make every single book count. Try your best at making every single book count. So you publish one book and see where you actually went wrong with that book, and you try to improve upon that book, and then you just publish another book and so on. So that is what you want to do. And scaling up your business really depends on if you actually succeed with your first books or not. I mean, what happened with me when I started out, I actually started by publishing books in the spirituality niche, and those books actually did quite decently. I didn't have much money back then to invest in further books, and those books actually did quite decently. But it happened exactly this: they actually sell quite well during the first 1 to 2 months and 3 months, and then those sales just dropped and so on. And then my next 4 to 5 books just didn't make any kind of money because my virtual assistant wasn't that good, and he wasn't able to actually rank my books in the front page of results. What actually changed everything was hiring a new virtual assistant and start using AMS ads. Really has helped me a lot in making my business scale up far faster. So when you're starting out, it will be hard for you to scale up your publishing business depending on the amount of money that you have. Of course, if you have more money to invest into this business, you will be able to publish more books, scale up your business a lot faster because you will get more results, see what works and what doesn't work. And that is basically the mindset that you always want to have. You want to see what works and what doesn't work. You always want to keep focusing on what works and excluding what doesn't work from your Kindle publishing business. That is what I have done. And when I saw that a book that I published inside of Amazon was selling well, what I kept doing was publishing more books with similar content. And basically that was what I did. I didn't worry so much about audiobooks or nothing like that. Actually, most of the money that I'm doing nowadays is in paperbacks. But I'm doing a pretty good amount of money And later on, I'm actually going to focus more on audiobooks, okay? Because some niches just sell better in audiobooks, others in paperback, and basically that is what I did. And I hope this video was pretty good because it's now, let me see over here, this is 30 minutes of me talking and my throat is just dry from talking so much. But anyway, if you have any questions related to Kindle publishing, you might leave it on the comment section right below. I'll try to reply to you as soon as possible. I might make even a video replying to those questions because sometimes I just don't know what to talk about when it comes to Kindle publishing, because I basically have spoke about everything that came into my mind. And people might have some struggles when it comes to their business. If you have any, just leave it right below. Also, leave a like if you still haven't done it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can receive my weekly video updates. And also get my free bonus. Just go right below, click on that link, go to my opt-in page, and get that free book. It's an awesome book. You will learn a lot when it comes to Kindle publishing. And that is all for this video. Stay tuned, stay there, stay with Jordan Alexo, and bye.